What if the God you've been praying to is far too small for the dreams you're trying to bring to life? You've whispered prayers in dark moments, clung to hopes that never materialized. But what if it's not your faith that's missing, only the size of your God? In this video, we'll explore how redefining your concept of God could shatter the limitations standing between you and the life you've always envisioned. Many of us inherit our image of God, perhaps from family, tradition, or cultural stories, without ever questioning whether it serves us. It's like being handed a pair of tinted glasses at birth. You see everything through that particular lens, including your understanding of the divine. But imagine this scenario. Two people sit in the same pew at church or on the same prayer mat at home. They recite the same words year after year, yet one seems to find peace, prosperity, and growth, while the other feels stuck, frustrated, or ignored by the divine. The difference often isn't what they do, but how they see God. If you've been taught to view God as distant, punishing, or bound by human-like emotions, you might approach prayer with an underlying fear. Am I good enough for this God to help me? Let's question that inherited picture. Many religions describe a God prone to anger or favoritism. While there may be deeper spiritual truths behind these characterizations, they can also box us into believing that God is only as big as human personalities. Think of the impact this has on your life. If you believe God is constantly checking off your flaws, you'll likely approach every challenge with guilt or self-condemnation. You might even stop asking for blessings, assuming you don't measure up. But there is a divine aspect that transcends every limitation we've placed on it. Once you expand your understanding, it can unlock a whole new way of experiencing life. What if God isn't limited by jealousy, anger, or even the rules we construct? Many spiritual teachers suggest God is more like an energy, an ever-present power that animates the universe. Neville Goddard famously said, "God is the human imagination," meaning our inner world literally shapes the outer world we experience. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is described as an infinite presence, existing in all beings, all things, beyond time and space. Picture it this way. If we define God as infinite, then it must be everywhere and in everything, including you. A boundless force like electricity doesn't play favorites. It just flows wherever there's a connection. Your mindset is like the wiring. If your wires are frayed with doubt and fear, that power can't run cleanly. This expanded concept also answers some deep questions about suffering. When things go wrong, we might assume God's turned away. But perhaps the real issue is that we've disconnected ourselves from the very energy meant to sustain us. Once you accept God as an infinite, benevolent force rather than a distant judge, your entire spiritual journey shifts. You move from "Am I worthy?" to "God is already in me. So how do I align myself more fully?" That shift is transformative. This brings us to the I Am principle, an incredibly powerful spiritual idea found in texts like the Bible, where God refers to himself as "I am that I am," and mirrored in modern teachings that emphasize the power of self-declaration. Every time you say "I am," you're effectively co-creating your reality with this infinite force. If you continuously say, "I am unlucky," your mind searches for evidence to support that. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Conversely, saying, "I am favored," or "I am strong," tunes your mind to possibilities that match those declarations. Take two students studying for a crucial exam. One says, "I am prepared and I know I can succeed." The other, even after hours of study, mutters, "I am terrible at this. I'm going to fail." Their outward actions, studying, might be similar, but their inner declarations shape how they process information, respond to stress, and ultimately perform. In spiritual terms, If your core declaration about God is that He is generous, loving, and within you, you'll approach life with a sense of security. But if you habitually declare God as punishing or distant, without realizing it, you might keep hitting walls, attributing every misfortune to God's will, when in fact you're blocking the natural flow of divine energy. The I am principle, then, is not just positive thinking. It's actively choosing the lens through which you harness the power of God. Now, let's turn this from theory into action. It's one thing to hear these concepts, it's another to live them. For the next 7 days, pay close attention to the words that follow I am in your daily thoughts and conversations. If you find yourself saying, I am tired, I am hopeless, or I am broke, pause for a moment. Ask, is this how I want to use my creative power? If not, flip it. Even if it feels awkward, try. I am renewed, I am learning, or I am financially growing. This isn't about denying reality, but inviting a different reality into being. By reprogramming your inner dialogue, you gradually expand what you believe is possible. 2. Journaling prompt. Each morning, write down one belief you hold about God. Then ask, does this belief free me or limit me? Does it inspire hope or fear? If your belief places God in a small box, like a strict parent who doles out blessings sparingly, begin rewriting that belief. For instance, I used to think God only helps me if I'm perfect, but now I see God's love is unconditional and ever-present. 3. Practice generosity. If you want to experience God as abundant, embody abundance. Compliment people sincerely. Volunteer an hour of your time. Give away things you no longer need. By acting from a place of overflow, you tell your mind and the universe that you operate in a state of plenty, not lack. This is an energetic shift. When you're generous, you're resonating with the idea that resources, love, and time are enough for you to share. Over time, this alignment invites more abundance back into your life. 4. Breath and visualization technique. Each day, spend 2 to 3 minutes closing your eyes, breathing deeply, and picturing yourself surrounded by light, symbolizing God's infinite presence. As you inhale, imagine you're drawing in divine energy, filling every cell with vitality. As you exhale, release doubts and mental clutter. Over time, this practice can center you in the reality that God is within and around you, not separate or distant. Through these simple, but not always easy steps, you begin to reprogram your heart and mind to align with an infinite God, rather than a small one shaped by fear or limitation. Remember, your reality is a mirror reflecting your inner convictions. If you keep punishing yourself for past mistakes, or believe you're eternally not good enough, life will mirror that with obstacles and disappointments. It's not that God is refusing to bless you, it's that your concept of God and yourself doesn't allow those blessings to land. To be chosen, you must first choose yourself. To be blessed, you must bless yourself. To experience abundance, you must embrace an abundant mindset and see God as infinite, not selective. Right now, you have the power to reshape how you interact with the divine. God's timing is often misunderstood. Much of it hinges on our readiness to believe we are worthy. Prayer isn't just asking, it's also declaring, affirming, aligning. So if you desire a life of peace, plenty, and purpose, start declaring, I am peaceful, abundant, and purposeful. If this message resonates, I invite you to like this video, subscribe, and share your journey in the comments. Let me know how these practices are changing your life, because your story could spark hope in someone else. Lastly, remember, you are not simply praying to God, you are praying with God, as that sacred energy lives in you. If you expand your idea of what's possible, you'll discover that the divine is more expansive and loving than you ever imagined. Unlock a new reality by reshaping your faith, because maybe your faith isn't broken. Maybe your God just needs to be bigger.